Yo, take it from me. Prison ain't the place to be, but at the end of the day, it's just a test of heart. What up? It's your boy Trill Billy, a.k.a. Suge White, a.k.a. Vanilla Gorilla, a.k.a. Totorano Blanco, the White Thunder, home. I'm bringing you another episode of TOH TV. For y'all that don't understand, TOH means test of heart. We'll get into all that. Today we're going to be talking about the CFRC, that's the Central Florida Reception Center, specifically the YO dorm, H dorm, also commonly referred to as Hell dorm, right? So the beginning of this story, man, I've been in the county jail, been sentenced to an 8-year split sentence, 3 years in prison, 5 years of paper. That's probation. They bang on my door at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? You kind of know that you're getting, like, when you're going, but you don't know the exact date. They keep it all a secret from you so that you can't, like, plan an escape or some shit like that, right? So you kind of know it's coming any day now. Boom, they bang on the door. I'm ready. The county jail sucks. For all y'all that know, most convicts would much rather be in prison than in the county jail. So anyways, my homeboys are in there. They unlaced me up and shit. I kind of already know what to expect. They load us up on the little short bus. You know, there's probably, I don't know, between 10 and 15 prisoners. We all get on the short bus, slide out. Probably the Central Florida Reception Center is in Orlando, which is where I'm from, where I grew up at. It's over on the east side by the dump, for all y'all that know. So it's not much of a drive, maybe 30, 45 minutes. We ride over the Central Florida Reception Center, right? The sun's starting to break on the horizon, like, you know, the birds are starting to chirp, that type of shit, as we're pulling up to what's obviously a prison. It's got, you know, multiple rows of fence with the cyclone, the razor wire, the towers, they got the guard towers, all that. There's a bunch of other buses from a lot of the county jails in the Central Florida area. They're all lined up, ready to come into the prison, right? They're all getting inspected. They're all checking underneath them with mirrors, all this bullshit, right? Pulling all the inmates out. We're all laced up with the orange jumpsuit, the one piece, right? And the bobas. They got us in the waist shackles, which is, they got a chain that runs around your waist and up to your hands. So you got handcuffs there. And then the chain runs down to your feet. You got leg shackles there, so you kind of got a hop or take really short step type deal. And so we pull up there, and immediately, like, they're stripping us down. The county jail wants their shit back. They're stripping you down to the boxers and the socks. Give them the orange jumpsuit back. They peel off, right? So now this is a whole new deal. The county jail, like, it's way different than the reception center. Way different than any Florida State prison, right? So they got the guards all lined up there. They can get us all uncuffed and shit. The first thing they tell you is keep your hand behind your back at all times. And these dudes don't really look like they're playing. You feel me? So we all put our hands behind our backs. Except one dude, little Mexican dude, don't speak no English, right? He don't know that they just said, put your hands behind your back. He just knows that he's here lined up with all us fuckers, right? Scared to death, don't know what the hell's going on. Hey, the CO turned to him, slapped the fire out this dude. I'm talking about reached all the way back to third base and just clobbered this man straight to the ground, right? Fucking told him, I told you to put your hands fucking behind your back, all this, that, and the other. The guy, so, like, he gets someone to explain to him whatever. As I'm coming in there, man, they got this old-ass man, bro. He's walking. He's got one hand behind his back, and he's caning it, right? He's caning it. The CO runs down on him. Hey, didn't I tell you to put your hands behind your back? The old man says, I can't. I got a cane. Bam! Fires off on Buddy, right? Slaps the shit out of Buddy. Tells him, lay on your stomach on the ground right now. Leaves him there, bro. This dude was there for like an hour, laying on his fucking stomach. This shit was crazy. So they lead us in there into the intake process, which is like We get off the bus. We're on our underwear. We're waiting in a big cell, right? They call us. Someone had to talk in the group, right? Which is a no-no. They got our whole little group that was in that first cell, our whole group down on our knees on this metal grate, like just for like at least a half an hour, bro, until they call your name, right? The CO calls me up. It's a whole process of like your clothes or whatever. They'll tell you like, are you want to send them back to your people or you want to donate them, right? And this fucking dude, the CO right there, he's like, listen, if you don't donate your clothes, I'm gonna take your wedding ring because your wedding ring I fucked up. Anything that's like worth less than $100, you can have. If it's more, you can't. So he asked me how much your wedding ring worth. I was like, I don't know. I didn't buy it. My wife bought it. He said, you think it's worth more than $100? I'm like, I hope so. Shit, I don't know. He's like, bam, we're going to have to take that shit unless you want to donate these brand new Air Forces, all this shit. Gone. Donate it, right? Just to keep the ring. So that was the first of the bullshit. They bring you in there. They do a mouth swab for your DNA. They can run that shit to the system. They get your height, your weight. You like check all your vitals, all that bullshit. You talk to like a social worker type lady with classification. They start asking you questions. Like stupid shit like, do you want to kill yourself? Like, that type of stuff. You do all that. I was there under a youthful offender, and I was like 19 or 20 at the time. So I had to talk about going to school. Now the homies done laced me up like what to say, what kind of, because the Florida Department of Corrections has like certain vocational programs they offer for youthful offenders, right? So the homies done laced me up like, say you want to do this, that, or the third to try to get to this prison, or say that if you want to go to that prison. So I was trying to land at like Avon Park or like Polk CI, some shit like that. I told him masonry, automotive, electric. That's what I wanted to do, right? So boom. They keep it moving. I had to talk to some gang sarge because I already had at that time most of these tattoos. I've been getting tattoos since I was 14. So it was like, a lot of them dudes come in there, especially like the younger kids don't have a lot of ink. And so right out the bat, they pull me to the side. Sarge like, yo, what are you this, you that? I got a bunch of different tattoos that like he couldn't interpret. Like he was thinking I was 407 Mafia because the 407 tattoo on the throat. I got the spider web with the A, which is my wife's initial. He was thinking that was some Aryan shit. I got MOB on my leg, which to me is money over bitches, but it could be member of blood. So so I had them kind of tripped out. I got a 13 on my neck with spider web and shit. So they weren't sure if I was a 13. What else? There was a bunch of different shit. I had all kinds of different tattoos. They couldn't figure out like the meaning. So he's questioning me. And like, here's the deal. You never want to admit to them that you're anything, because then they put you on a file. They give you a gang jacket. They're going to send you to fucked up camps. It's going to follow you when you get out. So any crime you commit, everything's going to get upcharged with gang activity. Like, so like, it's hard to stay out of it, but if you can deny it and keep them guessing, that's the best thing you could do. So that's what I did. I just, told him whatever. We kept it moving. I didn't go in the gang jacket, whatever. So at this point, I'm cool. They got us all lined up on the benches. They call all the Y was first. So they call all these little jitterbugs. A Y was a youthful offender. In Florida, there's a youthful offender act where if you're under the age of 24 and you commit these felonies or whatever, that if the prosecutor allows for it or if the judge allows for it forever, whatever, then you basically get a less of a sentence. Like they cut you a little slack because you were young when you did it. In my case, I was 18 when I committed the crime. So of course, I was good. And in that case, I had a good lawyer, Patricia Cashman. Shout out to her in Orlando. If you get messed up on any kind of charges, man, I'm telling you, this lady is a beast. But anyways, so Youthful Offender Act, I was expecting to go to YOs. That's what all my homeboys were telling me. That's what I was expecting. But they call all the YOs. They make them put on a little red hat, right? So everyone knows that they're a youthful offender. So they get them all laced up. And they send them to another part of this intake place to wait to get sent, right? And they're kind of like just filtering them out, like groups at a time. So I'm sitting there with the adults now. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to the main unit. I ain't got it, because for those that know, the YO shit is notoriously violent. Like, everybody knows that ain't the place you want to be if you can help it. I mean, you still got to stand on all 10, no matter where they send you. But, and it's not that the adult prisons are less violent. It's just not on some bullshit 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little more serious, but it's not like you're constantly dealing with it. So anyways, I think I done slid on the YO shit. They call every single person on this bench, man. I'm like, this is like hours now. Every single person on this bench, man, they done called. I'm the last one. The CO holding the little clipboard or whatever, he's like, who are you? I tell him my name, right? He looks, he goes, oh, you're supposed to be YO. And I said, oh, shit, man. He said, hey, put this red hat on, right? Put the red hat on. Go over there, right? So I wait with, like, there was probably like 4 or 5 other dudes that were still waiting left to go over to H dorm, which is notoriously known as Hell dorm, right? That's what is known in the convict world. So I'm like, all right. It's got, I believe, 3 separate wings. It's got H1, H2, and H3, and it goes by ages, right? So if I remember correctly, H1 was 18 and under. H2 was 18 to 21 or 22, and then anyone older than that, I think, was H3, right? And then we were all separated. I believe it was a butterfly wing, if I'm not mistaken, which is it's got the 3 separate little sections, right? So we're walking across the courtyard, basically. They got little stretches of sidewalk. When you leave classification, they stretch out, which way you want to go. They got a little yellow line. You got to stay on the inside of that line, or you're violating, dog. And if you violate, they can get on your ass, right? They are not playing. I can already see within the first day that they are not playing the radio here, right? And so we're walking. Now, this dude on the other side of this big fence, right? There's an adult inmate on the adult compound, and he opens this little door to a little portable, basically. I guess he was in education or something. I hear him whistle. I look. He goes, oh, Little Red Riding Hood. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, I don't know who he's talking to, but he's talking to one of us, right? So I turn. I'm like, motherfucker, like, who the fuck? Snapping off on buddy. The CO shuts me down immediately, like not going for it, right? So now we're all continue our walk to Hell dorm. Now when we walk up to here, they got to put their little key in there to unlock it, or they got to get it buzzed in by Sarge, right? Sarge is in the little Sarge's station to where he can connect to either 3 of these little pods, right? Or this door. So as we're walking up, he calls it in. You hear the door. Bang. He opens it, right? Sarge is waiting for us. I think I'm in the back of this line, or maybe second to last. We're walking in, and Sarge pulls me to the side, right? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what this is about. He says, hey, you ain't gonna be no problem here, are you? I'm thinking, problem? Like, at this point, no bullshit, dog. Like, my heart's bumping. I don't know what to expect. All I seen is motherfuckers get the shit slapped out of them for the past couple of hours. You feel me? I don't know what to think. So the last thing that I'm thinking in my head is that he's worried about me. So I'm like, nah, man, I ain't gonna be no problem. So I'm good. So we straighten that up. He sends me in there. Bam, they're immediately on me, bro. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was the Latin King for Kissimmee. After I left, when I get further in my story, after I left, this dude got locked up and lit his cell on fire, bro. Like, he was wild, not for real. I ain't gonna say his name. But anyways, he ran down on me. He's looking at my tattoos. Oh, you GD? I'm like, nah, I ain't no GD. You Ken? Nah, I ain't no Ken. You Blood? Nah, I ain't no Blood. Right? Because the Wild's got a lot of gang shit going on. That's mostly where all that starts in the Florida prisons. They start off as jits, get ganged up, whatever. I was already banging before I went to prison. I was already a Crip, right? So I'm kind of laced up, like, know what to expect. I was already told, like, you know, not to come in there just throwing shit up and, like, trying to make issues. Like, you know, don't ever deny them, but try if you can, you know, finesse. Slide in there, figure out who's who, like, who's your enemies, that type of shit, before you just go in there blind, right? So he asked me this list. Never gets the Crip. Sarge comes in, bam. Everybody sit down, blah, 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 breaks up this little discussion we're having, right? So I go sit down, trying to find out who's who. White dude starts talking to me. I'm like, yo, where my brother's at? Like, yo, he points me in the right direction, type shit. I go over there, link up with them. It was a few, like 3 or 4, I think. Maybe not even that much. It might have just been 2 of them to begin with, besides me. Right, so I link up, and they start lacing me up, like, yo, they're going to TOH you. Like, I had to get TOH 7 times. My one brother's telling me I got TOH 7 times before I even put my shit down. This, that, and the third. So I'm like, all right, bet. I already been, my boy from the street laced me up about this shit. Already told me about the TOH. That's the test of heart. That's where you're going to get in the paint. You're going to slide. Usually it's a cell. You're going to slide off in there, and you're going to bump with somebody, right? And then usually a gang member. Whoever's running at the time, that was a 5-pod. So it was Kings, Bloods, and Zoes were deep in there, right? Deep. They were running that shit. We were very few. But shout out to Baby Zoe. That was my dog. Me and him just naturally got along, bro. He's from Orlando, I believe, from the Ditch Bangers clique, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, shout out to him. But he was actually paying me cigarettes and shit to draw up tattoos or whatever. He thought I could tattoo. I told him, no, tattoo, but I draw a little bit. It's like, all right, bet. So he tell me what he wanted. I draw it up. I shoot it through the house man, which the house man's the guy that comes around. Like, he cleans, helps hand out trays, but he also, like, his main function for us is to pass information or goods back and forth between cell to cell. You feel what I'm saying? Anyways, so me and him were cool. I'm waiting for this TOH, though. It don't come the first day. It don't come the second day. My brother's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, ain't no one touched you yet? And I don't know. To this day, I don't know why. Because there was some real-ass dudes in there. And it was protocol. I've never heard of a white boy not getting TOH, straight up. But that's what it was. Ain't nobody try me on no fuck shit. And to this day, I don't know why. I feel like God, like, gave me an energy. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if word traveled from the street, if one of my brothers, but even then, I don't know how that would have, I don't feel like anybody would have given a fuck. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I can honestly tell you, I was never TOH, which is unheard of. But anyways, I felt like there was animosity with some people. I could feel the energy, like certain people didn't like that I didn't get TOH'd in. And like, it felt like they didn't have the balls to do nothing about it, but they were trying to work up to it. Like get the pack going, try to get that energy out there to try to, fuck me off, basically. So knowing that, a couple days in now, I'm feeling this. We're on the red yard, right? I'm chilling with the brothers. Now we got all the dudes from all the dorms. All 3 of them dorms can chill on the rec yard at times. It was probably 3 days where I haven't seen a rec yard, and they said they ain't seen it for weeks before I got there. Like, they were booking us on Canteen, all that shit. We get out there, like probably the third day I was there. We're out there smoking a rip, right? Me and the brothers. Everyone's kind of, the Red Yard is like a big, maybe half a football field. It's got, if I remember correctly, it's got some dip bars or some bullshit like that. People make a little track around it. There's some benches and whatnot. I think there might be a basketball court, a little short, maybe a half court or something. Could be a full, I don't remember. But everybody kind of clicks up with their people. So we're all chilling, smoking, bam, the police, the COs run down on us, right? Sarge and a CO named Brooklyn, which this dude was like 6'4", just a huge black man from Brooklyn, New York, right? Talking mad shit. I already know this dude's about it. They lay us all down, dog. Lay us all down. It was like the streets, man. Like when the police run down on you and you're on the corner or some shit, on the floor, on your stomach, blah, 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 all that bullshit. There's like patting us down, whatever. Everybody done. I don't know if he ate it or dished us. Whatever he did, he got off that shit. So they got us on the floor, right? They're standing us up. They're checking our front pockets. All this bullshit. Hey, in one of my brother's pocket, man, no lie. This Chico from South Florida. I won't say his name, but shout out. This is an embarrassing ass story, but it happened for real. They pull out a tree frog out of Buddy's pocket, man, like this little small ass, bro. Sarge tells this man, "What the fuck is this?" He said, "That's my pet." He said, "Your pet? Eat that shit." I swear to God, this Sarge told this man, "Eat the frog. Eat it." He said, "Sarge, I ain't eating that shit." Hey, Sarge pulls out the pepper spray, starts shaking that shit. Goes to grab him. He's like, "Hey," pops that shit. No lie, dog. Pops that shit in his mouth. He's sitting there all like this. I mean, I can't imagine. He got this frog in his mouth, bro. Sarge tells him, "Chew it." He said, He said, "Chew that shit," shaking up the spray. Hey, you see him start chewing. Oh, my Lord. I ain't never felt so bad for somebody in my life, dog. For real, this was disgusting. Tells him, swallow it. Like, I can't believe this man didn't get sick from eating this frog, man. He ate it, bro. They pull us all inside, right? They line us the fuck up. For some reason, Brooklyn was like, "Hey, I like you, so you're going to get my warm-up." And he slapped the shit out of me, bro. No bullshit. I ain't here to cap, tell all these war stories. Oh, I beat. Nah, bro. He slapped the fuck out of me. For real. They even wear gloves, man, like mechanics gloves, so they can beat your ass on the regular and not get no marks on their hands. This shit's ridiculous. But they had us in like the little laundry, the mop closet type deal. So he slaps me, sends me off on my way, bro. And I'm kind of laughing because, I mean, what else can you do? I just got to take it with stride. They slap the other three jits, right? Slap him. They're us lined up. The last dude is the dude that ate the frog, man. They take him in there, and I just hear boop, bop, 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 just banging Buddy up, man, banging his ass out, right? He comes up, opens the door. He looks like Willie Lump Lump, right? He ain't saying shit. This man just done ate a frog, just done got his ass beat, right? They send us out. I'm just laughing on the way up, bro. Sarge ain't playing that shit, right? He runs down on me. "Hey, you think that shit was cute? You need some more? You need my officer to come back down here and show you another slap that wasn't hard enough?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good, bro. For real, I'm good." "Yeah, you sure about that?" "Hey, no cap. I'm straight. I'm just like that. I'm straight." He's like, "That's what I thought," right? Sends me up. I'm in cell 13, top. Right? So by this point, this shit's crazy, man. Like, I done seen, they line you up every time you got to go eat or whatever. They march you out at 4 o'clock in the morning in the rain, whatever. You're out there marching, Beche, hotel attention, all that bullshit. Your left, all that, right? They got little cadences they make. Like, so we're in the pouring rain, and it's like February. I'm freezing, right? Marching. Pouring down rain, marching. You marching this chow hall, dog. You get your tray, you got 45 seconds to eat, man. Like, no lie, no cap. You got 45 seconds. Like, you got to pick what on your tray you want to eat the most. Like, I used to just throw all that shit in a pile, you know what I mean? Throw it like that. By the time There are like 4 rows of tables where you can sit to eat. By the time you sit down and eat, those rows fill up, you're up. That next line's coming in and filling it up, right? And then you wait outside in formation for everybody to eat and then march back, right? In the pouring down rain. So we go back. It's one of them days, whatever. So anyways, another gang, I ain't going to say their name, but another gang wanted this dude to TOH his way into their gang, right? But none of them, they didn't want one of their members to do it. They wanted another gang in the dorm to do his TOH, right? He already had a TOH, but I mean, to get into this gang. So they look at us, and I know animosity's brewing, like people ain't happy I ain't been TOH, like it starts, so I was like, bam, let me stand up. I volunteer for this shit, put my hand up, let me get that, right? It was 2 dorms down from me. So bam, I volunteer for this shit. The house man, E305, shout out to him. He made it happen. I tell, hey, we got to do this, that, and the third. He's like, bet, I got you. Cleanup time. I'll tell Sarge to pop the dorms because the COs are completely complicit in this, right? It's actually a tactic to keep riots from happening and shit like that. If they know there's problems with 2 people, that usually the right COs, you get the right person asking them, they'll make it happen to where 2 people can go get some understanding. You know what I mean? Get some shit off their chest and get back to doing time. So bam, I'm waiting for cleanup time. That's when they come in. Every cell, they give you a mop. They let you clean your shit. Your door's open. You just clean your whole cell up, give them their shit, and they move it to the next door, right? So I watch them. I'm looking out my window. They're making their way up the stairs. They come. E comes over, tells me, hey, man, we're fixing to pop them. Like, bet. He does the sign language, pop 13, and I think it was 11 or 10. He pops it. I walk down the tier. I go in his room. He's waiting there right at his door frame, right? So I push him in the chest, into his cell, and tell him tighten up, which is basically like ringing the bell, like, bam, it's game time. You hear tighten up, like, that's what it is. You're on it. So I hit him with a mean 3-piece. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I walk in the cell, hit him with the 3-piece. He takes a swing at me. I duck it, come back with a bebop, and he drops, right, to spike me. So when he spikes me, he runs his shoulder into my stomach, right? I kick my feet out to land on top of him. Well, where my feet found purchase was a damn toilet, right? My left foot in the toilet. But he trying to spike me, right? I just hit him uppercut city, bro. Just pop, 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 pop. I hit him. I see him drop. He just dropped straight. Let's go, drop straight on his face, right? So I turn around. I go to get on, grab his clothes. I go to get on Buddy, and I see the blood, right? Little, like, puddle. Like, I ain't gonna say a puddle. I ain't trying to cap and tell you, fake ass story. I seen drops of blood, like a little by his mouth, a little pool and shit. So I'm like, bro, you good? He's like, I'm good. I help him up. This man shook my hand. Shout out to him. I won't say your name because that was an ass whooping, bro. But he shook my hand, and when he did, I seen he had his lip stuck on both of his canines, like they were sticking out of his lip. Like you could see the tips of his teeth. Like he had to pull his lip off his teeth. This man had both eyebrows cut, bleeding. His nose was busted. Like I said, he had the 2 holes in his lips. He was already starting to swell up. Like, and the whole thing was, I was kind of worried that this dude was going to be a handful because, like, people were telling me that know him from the streets. He had some buddies in there from the streets. And he's telling me, oh, man, I got jumped one time by 5 dudes and Buddy seen it. And he ran down and he beat up all these dudes. So I'm like, oh, shit, like, supposedly Buddy got them hands, you know what I mean? But the whole point was to get in there just to show, like, you know what I mean? To stop the momentum of this shit for me not getting a TOH, basically. So he took it like a man, and I actually covered for him for a whole day. From that fight, I stand in front of him at the chow hall so the COs couldn't see him, like block his face, because he looked like Willie Lump. So I'm blocking for him, right? Now, when I come in, we all go to chow. He makes it. We keep making it. The next day, we come in from chow, and we're all waiting. They call it like the Sally Port. Everyone's waiting in this hallway, basically, to get to their dorm. So I'm sitting there on the bench, right? Sarge comes through. He's just walking. He looks at the dude I got in a fight with, looks at him, keeps walking, takes like 2 steps, and looks again. Do like a double take on this fool, right? Just, what the fuck? Yo, what happened to your face? Because he's just all, in the, where his teeth are gone in. Like, that shit was not looking good, man. It looked infected. It was all red and looked like it was pussing. Like, it was nasty. So when Sarge seen him, he ended up taking him to medical, and they sent this dude out on the ambulance to get glued or stitched up, whatever they had to do, right? So I felt bad, but I mean, it is what it is. So I'm up, maybe later that day, after he went on the ambulance, or maybe the next day, I'm trying to remember. I see Sarge pop up in my window, man. I'm on my bunk, reading a book. Bam, 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 bam. I look. Sarge says, "Hey, get against the wall." I'm like, oh shit. I tell Sarge, "Hey, Class A?" And Class A, for y'all that don't know, means like completely dressed, shirt tucked in. You got your blues on. You got your shoes on your feet, ready to go. He tells me, yeah, Class A. Now, basically what I'm asking him when I ask him if he wants to be Class A is, are we fixing to move on the compound? Because if you're fixing to go to medical or classification or whatever, you're going to have to leave the dorm and they want you Class A. Like, so basically, we fixing to ride is what I'm asking him. He said, yeah, I get Class A. Oh, shit, okay. I jumped down, put my Bobos on. For y'all that know what Bobos, it's like a Converse with no damn laces. Like a slipper Converse, if you can imagine that. Got like a rubber toe, a little white rubber toe on the end. We call them Bobos. I put them on, get against the wall. Sarge comes in, he pushes me up against the wall, right? I'm like, oh, shit. He said, hey, I thought you weren't going to be no problem, white boy. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? I ain't been no problem whatsoever. He said, hey, the white boy says that you beat him up and took his canteen and told him to check in. I'm like, what? Because, I did beat him up, but I ain't none of this other shit. I never took nothing from this man. It was just strictly on some politics shit. So I'm like, man, you're tripping. I didn't do shit. He's like, bullshit. He's in the hospital right now, getting his face, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nah, man. He pushes me again. Nah, I'm just playing. You're going to the adult side, right? And it was weird because the night before they had come by and like measured everybody's arms and like their height and their weight and all this, that, and the other. Was like writing it down. Like they was, and there were a couple of dudes that left with me. Like they kicked us out of the YOs and put us on the adult compound. So I don't know why. I don't know if it was a size thing or whatever. But, or it could have been because of that fight. Who knows? But bam, they shipped me off. I'm out of YOs, bro, on the big boy compound. So that's that pretty much wraps up that portion of the time I did at CFRC. I was probably only there for like a month and a half, but that shit was wild, man, when I was there. And like I said, I spent everything but the last week and a half, 2 weeks there before I got shipped to my main camp, which that'll be the next story. So this is TOH TV with another episode for you with Trill Billy, a.k.a. Suge White, a.k.a. Vanilla Gorilla, a.k.a. Torano Blanco, the White Thunder, Holmes. Late.